Everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian from an undisclosed location. It's Rich Stambolian.
What's up? I'm coming from the depowered nuclear silo in Flushing.
Oh, is that where you are?
Bet you didn't know about that.
I did not know about that, but it explains a ton.
Got cap shield and everything.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's going on, Rich?
Not much, man. What are you up to?
Long week.
Yeah, same here, man. You want to talk about some wrestling?
Yeah, let's talk about some wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling we got to talk about. We both have hard outs at like 11:40, so We'll go a little over an hour today on the show. We'll also do our Q&A. We'll talk about AEW Revolution. What a fantastic show that was on Sunday. Then we got Monday Night Raw from the Garden on... dude, that Garden looked unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
It looked great. The building is so awesome. I was there yesterday. The building is so awesome. They also ran the Garden Theater, the Felt Forum, for NXT the night after. They had about 4,600 people in that building. Dude, this sellout for the Garden was huge. I mean, it was way over 18,000, which has not happened in a very long time. But where do you want to begin, Rich?
Let's start with some news. As our episode is called WWE Invades New York, we're going to talk at length about that and the fallout for Revolution from AEW's Revolution. Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, seriously banged up from the Spanish Fly off the top of the cage. Ospreay was seen limping after landing on his hip. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you get a little spooked when you see big moves now? Just because you don't want these guys to get... I mean, you never want anybody to get hurt, but I feel like in the last year, like that cage match on Monday and the cage match on Sunday, I was like, please don't get hurt. Like, no, you know what I mean?
Two really different matches, right? Two very different cage matches, but both were great. They were fine.
Yeah.
I like both of those matches. I do sometimes with certain guys, but it's generally, like the nothing moves that everybody gets hurt on.
Yeah.
Like remember that Neville when he got hurt in WWE?
Baseball slide, yeah.
It was a baseball slide, and Jericho lost his effing mind, started screaming at the ref. So I mean that happens. That match was remarkable.
Yeah.
But they did so much. I mean, they did so much. Dude, and he landed right on his hip, like you said, with that Spanish Fly. That was not fun. Mercedes has a bruised larynx.
Isn't that something from Dr. Seuss?
Those are that's
Lorax.
That's a Lorax or a Horton Hears a Who. Momo Watanabe left the show on crutches, so they went really hard. What else did we have? Swerve had a busted eardrum, according to Meltzer.
Yeah,
so, a lot of people got banged up.
Dive. He hit his head on that dive towards Ricochet.
Is that where it happened?
I think so, because it looked like that was like a gnarly bump, But yeah, like when Punk got up on that cage, man, I was like, fingers crossed, like don't fall.
I mean, it was wild. Dynamite ratings were up post Revolution. Wednesday night show did 628,000 viewers on TBS. That was up 4.7%. That was the largest audience total since January 22nd. We don't have max numbers. I've heard anywhere from 10 to 15% of that viewership number is associated to max. So, 62,000 people watching on max. I don't know what that number would even mean. I don't even know if that number is true. But as far as I know, they're happy with it, and it's performing well on max. Where do you watch? You watch on max or on TV?
I'll watch it on Max. Like if I'm home on Wednesday night, I'll just put it on Max because it looks so much better than it does on like Spectrum. Yeah.
Well, I watch it on YouTube TV, but Max I think is a little bit better in quality.
Yeah.
So that's a positive sign for them. People were interested. I don't necessarily know if the show was that great. I wouldn't say it was a great show. It was a fine Dynamite, but it wasn't like this. Oh my God, they did so much. I think a lot of people just needed a little break from the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Collision is airing 2 one-hour episodes during NCAA tournament weekend. This is interesting. So they're pre-taping Collision, and then they're airing it on Saturday the 22nd and Sunday the 23rd.
Cool.
So they're splitting the show into 2 separate days. This is interesting because the episodes will will be 1 hour and slated for 11 p.m. So obviously it's not a hard start. It's starting right after whatever game is happening there. But I have a little scoop.
Oh,
okay. Expect to see more strange programming coming out of TBS and TNT.
awesome.
Okay, regarding AEW, I've heard that they are planning on running a like multi-hour show. Okay, that's how it was said to me. I think they mean more than 2 hours. Sometime this maybe late spring, early summer or summer. I got to find the timing for this.
Now, could that possibly be Shockwave?
I don't think it is. I don't think it has anything to do with Shockwave. I think maybe whatever that new trademark they got for Beach Blast or Beach Break, whatever that new trademark is, maybe it has to do with that. This was said to me in very quickly in passing.
Okay.
So I'll find out more information, but it is going to be a multi-hour program, and I think they mean more than 2 hours here. So maybe they're going to run like listen, Battle of the Belts was supposed to be this entire thing. It was supposed to be Clash of the Champions. It was supposed to air quarterly or whenever they needed a special. It was supposed to be pay-per-view level matches to sell the product. And they never really did that. It became a 1 hour program and no titles are on there. Barely.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's wild. I'm looking forward to nutty programming because before Cody, we talked about this I think last week. Before Cody left, they had a lot of those docuseries and some of the reality shows that they put on there. For my money, I think they should make Shockwave a prank show.
just like no, dude, it's a prank, like one of those.
Like it's Brian Cage popping out of a box and scaring people, just like all the roster doing like nutty pranks, and somebody just coming out and doing a Shockwave.
You know what I want? I want the Beast Mordos just shampooing his hair, and someone's keep putting shampoo on his head, and he's getting enraged because more and more shampoos come in, the more he's washing. That's a good episode.
Imagine you're at a Sweet 16, and then all of a sudden the Beast Mordos pops out of a cake. Yeah. Like imagine that as a kid and as a parent. Just imagine if you're at your kid's communion and the Beast Mordos just pops out of one of your wife's like flower walls.
Oh my god, that's unbelievable.
That would be nuts. That's my pitch for Shockwave. Whoever's out there listening, make that the show.
I keep hitting the wrong button here because you're programmed under Rich, and I have R and G. Rich, and I don't know who G is.
Guest?
Gonzo?
Guest, I guess.
That was a third guest.
It was a third guest. Okay. ESPN reveals the premiere date and full list of guests for Stephanie's Place, the Stephanie McMahon show. Episode 1 is the return of CM Punk. That'll air on March 26th. Cody Rhodes takes center stage as the second Rhea Ripley's rise. Stone Cold rides again. April 16th. Evolution of Charlotte Flair. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Pat McAfee can't be stopped. Digging deep with the Undertaker. That's your show, MG.
It's your show, MG. How'd you get on there?
How did you get on? You got a show Digging Deep with MG? Stephanie's making a huge mistake here. John Cena's final round on May 28th would be the final episode.
And you missed Triple H's perfect entrance.
Where and when?
Episode 9.
Oh, Triple H's perfect entrance. There you go. I was like, when did he come out? What did he do? Where is he?
He's coming out of a birthday cake.
The Queen of the Ring actress apologized for her comments at Revolution when she said, "You guys know the finish before us," or whatever the hell it was. And the quote was, "One thing I've learned about pro wrestling, y'all know you're going to win before anyone does. So thank you for teaching me that." Did she not know?
She thought it was real, bro.
She thought it was real. She went on Busted Open and she apologized and said that that wasn't what she intended. And that she was completely takes accountability on how it came out. So she apologized for informing people in 2025 that wrestling is not real.
Sorry.
Whoa, my God. She blew the lid. The business is over.
Off the business.
she ruined the business. This was it. This was the kiss of death. I saw that people made such a big deal out of this online. Yeah. And I'm like, God, dude, she's some dopey actress. She doesn't know. You think she's being forced to be there? Her agent and the studio's making her go.
Yeah.
She just made a comment. Who cares? You think
But
Netflix
AEW
would
was
never-
upset?
But nah, but you know, wrestling fans.
Wrestling fans, though, very upset over this.
Wrestling fans don't get like
Yeah.
again, like you always say, like it's a bubble and it's a weird bubble. And I feel like a lot of wrestling fans don't realize that people have different jobs and that not everything's a storyline. You know, she's an actress. It's
Yeah.
okay.
That's fine. She doesn't need to know
Yeah.
everything. What else do we have here, Rich?
Roman Reigns invades the main event on Raw.
That was big.
That was huge, attacking Seth Rollins and CM Punk at the end of their cage match at MSG. I really love the ending to that whole thing. Roman is so over, and I kind of want this triple threat to be the main event of night one at WrestleMania.
I think it can be. I think it can
Yeah.
be the main event of night one because, listen, no knock at Gunther and Jey Uso, but what's a bigger match? CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or Gunther and Jey Uso?
Right. It's the triple threat by a long mile. I also think night one, Jay should set the tone for night one. Jay wins the belt in the first match, and everybody's already immediately.
Well,
like, buzzing.
you also have the women's title matches. That's the other
Yes.
thing too. So both nights will be stacked. I don't know where you put which women's match where. Do you put Charlotte and Tiffy night one or night two?
Night one.
Night one. Okay.
Night one. Because I feel like night two, they can get away with a lot more looser booking because you know it's going to be The Rock and Cena.
Oh, that's you know,
Cody and Cena.
Cody and Cena and The Rock's there and whoever else shows up. I think that main event is going to be similar to what we saw last year, where it's a run-in, a rep bump, a false finish, another false finish. So, you know, Undertaker comes out and you know, Kurt Angle comes out and here comes Steve Austin. The glass breaks. Steve Austin and The Rock go at it. It is more spectacle than wrestling.
Yeah.
AEW is more wrestling than spectacle, and that's fine. That's fantastic. I love it. Do you want to go into NXT?
Oh, yeah. NXT, number one was at the MSG Theater, the theater at Madison Square Garden. It looked awesome. Great presentation. You had the Hardy Boys defeating Fraxium via pinfall. Listen, man, I've always had a huge, huge place in my heart for the Hardys.
You know, it's amazing how little they were over in AEW and how over they are back being here.
It's really nuts. Like, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's the fan base, you know. Also, WWE audience is very different, and they go for the name recognition. And the Hardys it's a humongous name.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say AEW dropped the ball with the Hardys, but I feel like they did in a certain extent.
Well, remember what happened,
Yeah.
right? Remember how it happened because Matt came in like that first pandemic show.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be a big deal, and it didn't happen. Then Jeff came in, and Jeff had to go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt. You know, it's a lot of amnesia also. A lot of, you forget the negativity. You forget a lot of the stuff that, and I think that happens a lot in WWE because they are so good at highlighting how great somebody is. And then they show up and then they beat you to a pulp. And then you're done. Right. You know, to the point that Jeff Hardy walked out. He rolled out of the ring and just walked through the crowd and left.
I'm done. I do think there is a certain amount of like the booking that again, like this is just fanboy stuff. The booking that I wanted out of that AEW run was what they were doing in Ring of Honor with the Bucks. You know, having like these amazing matches, and it just didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Timing. They did have a match on that. What was it? That Rampage before Double or Nothing.
Yes.
Right. Well, didn't they have that match?
I think so.
But like, see, like I don't know. I could say a lot.
And they had Hardys versus Sting and Darby, right?
Did we get that? I don't know.
I think we got that, right, MG?
I don't remember.
I think Sting and Darby versus the Hardys.
Isn't that the one where they both went up the ladder spot? There was a sick ladder spot between Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin.
I don't remember.
I think Sting did a splash through the table onto Jeff, maybe.
Maybe. I don't remember. I've forgotten.
Weird, right?
I've forgotten so much wrestling.
Guys in the
I
chat.
think it was Jeff. It was Jeff and Darby, says Large 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Jeff and Darby.
And then Sting showed up and did like a big splash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
pretty much,
That's all
probably.
he did in that
This is
last run.
this is like a mass hallucination right now.
TNA World Champions, the Hardys, defeating Fraxium via pinfall. Yeah, Jordan Grace defeating Roxanne Perez via pinfall. Jordan Grace is fantastic.
Yeah.
Very impressive. NXT Championship match. Obafemi defeated Moose via pinfall.
That's great.
A fall from Grace. That was a really good match. Moose is huge.
This was a meat
Yeah.
match.
That was a meat match for sure. Javon Evans defeated Ethan Page again via pinfall. NXT Women's Champion versus NXT Women's North American Champion. Now this match was fantastic.
Banger.
We have gotten,
banger.
I mean, over the last couple of weeks, if you think about the Women's Elimination Chamber match that we got, the Women's World Title match for AEW that we got on Sunday.
Both of them. Both of them were pretty good.
Oh, yeah, the Mercedes and Momo Watanabe match. And the Stephanie Vaquer and Julia match that we got on Tuesday. Fantastic week for women's wrestling. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. So Stephanie Vaquer is a double champion now.
Mm-hmm.
Booker T lost his mind on commentary.
Booker T lost it
at home.
Jonathan lost his mind at home. Booker T lost his mind. I thought it was good, dude. I thought that was a fantastic match. They have something really special in her. She may be the one. I think, everybody was gunning for Julia to become like the one, and I think Julia will be fine. Stephanie is taking a lot of that attention positively because she's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm excited for them to lock up many more times because they have such chemistry with each other.
Yeah. Tonight for SmackDown, we got DIY versus the Street Profits. The WWE Tag Team Championship match. We got Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Charlotte versus B-Fab. Miz TV with special guest Cody Rhodes.
Awesome.
Monday Night Raw will have a special 3 p.m. live start from Brussels.
And it's St. Patty's Day.
Oh, dude. I don't know what bar I'm going to end up in and force them to put Monday Night Raw on.
Let's figure out where we can go and have them put on Monday Night Raw.
and we're just going to be like, I want to watch I think a lot of places have Netflix, but
now you could just stream it, like beam it from your phone.
Yeah. John Cena's first appearance since turning heel, Cody under the same roof. Intercontinental title match. Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker defends against Finn Balor. No DQ Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser. Jey Uso versus Austin Theory. Ivy Nile versus Dakota Kai.
Great.
So here's some AEW news. AEW Revolution. I thought it was a fantastic show.
Yeah, loved it.
Who wants to hear Dave Meltzer's star ratings for this?
Sure.
I think, let's see. Here we go. Hologram versus Commander. Hologram Commander versus Lee Johnson and Blake Christian gave it 4 stars. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Colbert, and Daniel Garcia defeated Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and the Infantry, which is Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. This is a 3-star match. Big Boom AJ, Mark Briscoe. I know. And Orange Cassidy beat MXM Collection and Johnny TV. 2 stars. Adam Page defeated MJF. 4 points. Are you still laughing at the at the thought of the Rizzler?
Yes, I'm laughing. Do you want to hear what I'm laughing at?
Yeah.
I'm laughing at imagine in some wacky world where the Rizzler and Hornswoggle did some kind of twin magic thing. And it looks like somebody's throwing the Rizzler into the crowd, but it's really just Hornswoggle.
Dude, you know what I want them to do? You know what spot I want them to do? The mime spot.
Oh yeah.
And they just do the mirror spot and they both look to the sides. I that's what I want from them.
They got to capitalize on the Rizzler because he's starting to grow up.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the star in the group.
Mm-hmm.
We need more Rizzler. MJF just comes out. I think MJF. I think Orange Cassidy should just carry him around like Jake Roberts carried the snake.
Oh, in a bag.
In a bag. And he throws it in the ring, and the Rizzler comes out.
Comes out slowly risen. That's your first episode of Shockwave.
Jesus.
It's a prank, bro. It's a prank.
I would love every minute of that. How dare Meltzer give that big boom man 2 stars?
And he's broke.
I got tickled. I got really tickled by that thought of the RZA in a burlap steak sack.
I just see Orange Cassidy holding that big lump sack, just shoving it in the ring, and it just opens and his stupid little head just pops out, just risen. Adam Cole pins MJF in 19 minutes. That was 4.5 stars.
This guy's losing his mind.
I'm trying to put it back on the tracks. It's not working.
No, there's no tracks. The tracks is demolished.
I'm sorry.
This is the scene in Independence Day where they blow up the White House.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. Swerve Strickland pinned Ricochet in a match to determine who would be the next AEW, who would get the next title shot, number 1 contendership. 4.7 stars. Okada pinned Brody King to retain the Continental title. 3.75 stars. This is probably Okada's lowest rated match ever.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley defeated the Outrunners. This was 1.5 stars. Oof. Tony Storm pinned Mariah May. It only went 12 and a half minutes. Wow.
It felt like it was so long.
Yeah. Not in a bad way. It just felt a long match. Yeah. 5 stars for that match. Well deserved. Kenny Omega won the international title from Takeshita. This went 28 minutes. This was 5 stars. Will Ospreay pinned Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match. This was also 5 stars. Yeah. And Jon Moxley retained the AEW title. 3.25 stars.
All right.
Let's go to Dynamite.
Sure.
I need a minute to breathe. I'm sorry.
You need a minute to breathe? I mean, it's going to come back again. Every time you think of that little kid just
I can't
in that
stop
bag.
thinking about that little boy.
No.
I can't stop thinking about that little boy Riz.
This is Rizzlin.
Oh, my God.
Dynamite, Kenny Omega opens the show like he was just about to head to the gym.
Can we talk about that for a second? That triggered me. I got so angry. Why is he dressed like that? Why is he dressed like that? Nothing else? He can't put on anything else?
It triggered you so bad, but it also triggered a lot of the internet and a lot of what I was looking. I had to shut off my ex because it was just like, why isn't he wearing a suit? Why does he look like it's laundry day?
I don't want him to wear a suit, but he doesn't need to wear, basketball shorts and Crocs.
He looked comfortable, man. He's the world's comfortable champion.
He's the world's most comfortable champion. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He reflected on the path he's been on since coming back. Happy to be in the ring and tagging with Ospreay, and now having a singles title. When was the last singles title he had? It was almost 2 years ago, right?
When was the last singles title? Yeah, he hasn't held any of those other titles. No, didn't he hold? Didn't he hold the New Japan title?
The U.S. title?
Yeah, didn't he hold that? Would that have been his last singles run?
Ooh, that was almost 2 years ago when he tagged with Okada.
When he tagged with Okada.
He thanked Takeshita, who pushed him harder than he ever imagined. He put over the Eliminator tournament that was starting. And then he got confronted by the Ops as they were making their way to the ring. And the Ops subsequently defeated Eli Theseus, Vinny Pacifico, and Gabriel Eros. It was a squash match to open the show.
Vinny Pacifico chipped his tooth. I was talking to him yesterday.
Yeah, Shibata broke his mouth, huh?
Shibata broke his mouth. Nice, quick squash match. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Promo for Swerve airing after Revolution saying he wanted his title shot in the same place he won last year at Dynasty. We mentioned that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cope appeared in a segment saying there's still time to get the title before Dynasty. So they're going to do Cope versus Mox 2 in the street. So what do you think about this? When was MG or anybody in the chat, when was the last time the big belt, the world title was changed on a Dynamite, or was it ever?
Yeah, didn't we have the Jon Moxley one?
Where like he won the belt on a Dynamite?
Didn't he beat Punk on Dynamite?
Wasn't it? No, it was
Mox
Kenny
Punk,
Omega?
yeah.
Mox Punk. Okay, so Mox Punk. Yeah.
That was TV.
But what do you think about this? Do you think they should go back to this well for like another match, or is it?
I don't know, dude. This feud got really muddied, and I think part of the problem was that stupid freaking Money in the Bank that Christian has. I think that always hovered over. Now that it's out of the way, I think that's positive. But I don't know. I don't know what they do here. What do you want to see Adam Copeland with a title?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like he's bound to get that belt anyway. I feel like they might. Here's the double-edged sword of this.
What if Christian comes and costs Moxley the title? And,
there we go.
And Copeland turns heel, and he says, "Listen, we realize we're better off together than apart." And they form an alliance, and this is a nice, quick way for him to drop the title to, and it's a different match. We haven't really seen that happen. To him, drop it to Swerve in a big moment. I would be okay with that. Totally fine.
I'm totally into that. But I think maybe in a certain regard, AEW has painted themselves into a booking corner with Moxley because he's a 4-time champ, right? Yeah. Now, he's also the ace of the company, arguably. If he loses that belt, he's going to be the first 5-time champ at some point. I feel like they need to do something big.
No. He's going to be multi. I mean, he's going to get it a couple more times. Because they go to him. Whenever they need like reliability, they always go back to him. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if Cope should win this. I don't know if Mox winning it is better. Mm-hmm. Is it a better main event if it's Mox and Swerve at Dynasty?
Now, let me ask you this, and we've talked about this several times over the last 3 months. Do you think it's time for hot potato with this belt?
I've been saying that for a while. I would not be against them doing a quick hot potato.
Drop to Cope, and then Cope drops to Swerve, and then you have another Swerve and Hangman program.
You could do something over the next couple months where let's say MJF is involved. You have your key players involved in this, and they each get it, and it culminates at a 4-way.
Great.
You could do something like that too. There's so many different ways. Like a lot of people get very focused in on the finish and the match, but everything that leads you there is what matters. You could have, listen, how many great matches have we seen with a tremendous build?
Right.
A lot. How many great matches have we seen with no build? A lot. And that makes a big difference. I think this was kind of cursed from the beginning. This almost had the same weird, less for me. It had like that same weird stink for a lot of people that the Adam Cole MJF stuff had. Yes. I didn't feel that aggressive about this. I do think Adam Copeland getting the title at one point would be a good thing for them.
Yeah, for sure.
But as a transitionary champion, just to pass it over to someone and elevate them.
Yeah, and to add to the legacy of that belt,
add to the legacy of the belt. Exactly.
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs and a hologram with Harley Graham.
I like Harley Graham.
So good. Defeated Brian Cage and Dralistico with the Beast Mordos. Lance Archer and Mark Davis came out to help Cage as they had a stare down with Hobbs, who stood his ground. Hobbs, man, I love what they're doing with him. I feel like they're keeping him nice and protected.
I want to do more with him. Yeah. But you got to also remember, look, where would he fit in? What title position? The title positioning is so aggressive right now with Kenny Omega having the international title.
Yeah.
Okada having a continental title. I guess he could go for the TV title. I mean, that should be the title for him, really, more than anything else, if you need to put a title on him. But you got to do something with him somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hurt Syndicate were interviewed after Revolution. They said who was next. MVP said they deserve the night off and to not go to the building and just relax instead.
And they said no. They're going to the gym. They're like, go find some nice ladies.
Yeah.
And he's like, not before we go to the gym. And they went to the gym.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Toni Storm, great promo. She addresses the women's locker room. It was pretty fantastic. Listen, I love what they're doing with Toni Storm. I think this is probably the most magnificent, I feel like the women's championship is held in such higher regard now because of all this.
Yeah, for AEW, 100%. Yeah. This has become a focal point on their TV. And when that happens, that's a tremendous positive thing. That the women's program is a focal point now. Mm-hmm. It's not just there.
Yeah,
you've elevated this title. You've elevated this program, and really most of it had to do with Tony and Mariah and how great they work together. But also a lot of credit to RJ City.
Yes,
you gotta give that guy some credit here because I know he had his fingerprints were all over that whole thing.
Absolutely. So. She cuts this fiery promo and then she gets attacked by Megan Bayne. So that's your new program. And Megan Bayne looks like $1 million. I feel like this is going to elevate her more than anything.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Speedball Mike Bailey made his debut to defeat the Beast Mortos.
He's a karate man.
He's a karate guy. To defeat the Beast Mortos in an international title eliminator tournament first round. Awesome. Really great reaction for Speedball. Speedball's been around the circuit for quite some time. Really nice seeing him debut in AEW.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a good addition for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a really good addition.
I sort of tune out with the patriarchy stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's too much. They were backstage with Renee. Yeah. Christian wants nothing to do with her because she's associated with John Moxley. Yeah. Cage said that he signed a contract for a singles match. The referee was supposed to wait, but he made it a triple threat and he wasn't ready. Oh, so are they going to take this? Is he still claiming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he wants his contract back.
He also said he didn't tap out. He was controlling his breathing. Nick Wayne would speak up and call him a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that happening?
Yeah.
Are they breaking up that group because
I think
they're
so.
done with the contract?
Yeah.
I think it's time to put the Edge and Christian back together.
I think that's where it's going. Listen, I think it is.
Call me a fanboy, but I that's what I want to see. Who knows how much time these guys got left? Just do it. Give me everything. Give me the 5-second pose. Give me all of the classics.
I want all of it. Yeah, I mean, you could do it again, and nobody. I think people would be into it. She started push. Mm-hmm. They started pushing each other. Mother Wayne would get in between them. Cage said that she does something. She'll be back working the midnight shift at the Waffle House. Cage said he'll be AEW World Champion if it's the last thing he does. Says for Nick to keep his mouth shut and to ride his coattails, it'll be the last thing he ever does. Cage walks off as Kip Sabian was left conflicted. All right. We'll see what happens here. MJF gets an interesting offer from MVP. I saw the funniest thing, and it was an image of the Nation of Domination with Owen Hart, and it says MJF's future.
Listen, I would you like that? I would like that.
Him to join the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah. Or be associated with it. I think that would be hysterical if they
I think he should be the leader.
He tries to boss him around and they just don't give a shit about him.
Yeah. I lost my notes here. You want to pick it up?
Yeah, he said MVP told him that the boys in the back don't fear him, but they do fear Lashley and Benjamin. MJF said he doesn't need his help because he was a world champion, and MVP said the keyword was put his business card in MJF's pocket. So I like the gimmick. I truly like the gimmick of MVP giving out those business cards.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because it kind of makes you go, ooh, what's going to happen? Yeah. And I had that moment with MJF, what's he going to do? What's MJF going to do? Because I think he needs some kind of faction.
MJF?
Yeah.
He did. Remember he had one?
It was the Pinnacle, right?
The Pinnacle, yeah.
And then what was it before that? He had two, or am I wrong about
two.
That?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had the Pinnacle, and he had... I can't remember the other one.
Wardlow, FTR, and who else was in it?
The Firm. He had the Firm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think MJF needs a new faction because that was really enjoyable TV when he had the faction and all that stuff.
That was a great album, by the way. The Firm.
The Firm?
The Firm. Great album. Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
AZ. Nas. And was it Cormega?
I think so.
Can I give you my dream faction?
Sean Spears was in it also.
Sean, yeah.
The chairman, yeah.
I want a storyline where the Hardy Boys moved to Long Island and turned to two Long Island boys.
It was nature. It was nature, not Cormega. My apologies.
What happened to you want to be one of the Island Boys, Jonathan? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I said my dream scenario would be to have the Hardys, gimmick-wise, move to Long Island and be two Long Island boys and join a faction with MGF called the Long Island Posse.
I mean, they could have done that.
They could have done that. They could have done that. I'm sure MJF has enough friends from Long Island. There's enough people on the AEW roster that's from Long Island. I mean, half the Willow's from Long Island. Chris Statlander is from Long Island. MJF is from Long Island. John Silver's from Long Island. Half that roster is from Long Island.
Listen, if they bring in Matt Cardona, there you go.
You know where Eddie Kingston's from?
Yonkers.
No, Massapequa. I want a Massapequa version of him. He works for sanitation, dude. Eddie Kingston living in Massapequa, Long Island, works for sanitation.
Is that where he's been?
That's where he's been this whole time.
Rehabbing.
Konosuke Takeshita defeated Max Caster in the Open Challenge.
Yep.
Willow Nightingale defeated Penelope Ford.
Not a good match.
Yeah. Penelope would hit Willow with a chair, and Statlander would make her save.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of hit her with it.
Not good.
Yeah.
Who's Megan Bean?
Oh dear.
According to our notes, Megan Bean shows up and we come out and lay them out with an F5. Backstage, Billy Stark has challenged Mercedes Moné next week. Will Ospreay calls his shot for the AEW World title. He talks about how sore he was to start off the promo. Then he switched to wanting to challenge for the world title all in this summer. To do that, he'll have to win the Owen Hart Cup. Great. Love it. Good story there. Renee tried to interview Adam Page, but MJF would bump into him backstage. Adam Page didn't think he would light him on fire last week. MJF said, good thing. Good think that. Great.
There should be a comma there.
This is the best.
Me reading his notes?
Yeah.
Because I read it literally how he writes.
It's like Anchorman.
It's like Anchorman. They went back and forth, just haunting each other.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. That's supposed to be taunting?
I just changed it.
Oh boy.
They're fucking haunting each other.
They kind of are if you think about it.
Thank you.
Joust hunting each other. Haunting each other. Excalibur mentioned that these guys would be intertwined for years to come. Orange Cassidy defeated Hitch and Cero for an international title eliminator tournament for the first round. The winner of this tournament is going to challenge Kenny Omega for the title. Speedball Mike Bailey walked out on stage, bowed to Cassidy as they both advance next week's 4-way eliminator.
Great.
Yo, I want to see Mike Bailey and Kenny Omega.
Oh, absolutely.
So there is a lot of conversation happening that they may be unifying the Continental and the International.
I think we're manifesting that.
Do they just call it the Intercontinental at that point? Because that is literally what an International and Continental title turned into.
Intercontinental. I mean, they technically could, right?
They technically could, yeah.
They technically could because New Japan had their Intercontinental title. What is the phrase Intercontinental Championship?
Like, they can't.
Yeah.
Think about how many people have a U.S. title. How many people have a global title, you know?
Right. World title. You can't copyright it. So why not? AEW Intercontinental Championship. Great.
Yeah. All right. AEW Collision. Get your questions ready, guys. AEW Collision tomorrow night. Ricochet and Shibata for an international title eliminator tournament first round match. Mark Briscoe, Mark Davis for an international title eliminator tournament first round match. FTR versus Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly.
Great.
Dynamite next week. So far, we got Cope. And we got Jon Moxley in a street fight for the AEW World title. You got Orange Cassidy, Mike Bailey versus whoever wins the other two matches. And you got Mercedes Moné and Billy Stark. Get your questions ready, and we will do our best to answer them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think this? On the last one you talked about the Mercedes, Billy Stark's match. Do you think this is leading to Athena and her at the next dynasty for ROH title?
I don't know.
And if so, does she win it? And do they continue with this belt collector gimmick?
I don't know what's going on with Ring of Honor right now, but I will say that
that would be a way to get it on the main card. You know
I know, but I don't want Ring of Honor anywhere near this. Like, I know Jericho's going to have, and Jericho's been great as Ring of Honor champ. I like this Jericho.
Yeah.
His promo was really good. I like the program they're doing right now with Bandito and his brother. I don't know. We don't know what they're doing. It's weird. It's a very strange thing with Ring of Honor because they haven't done anything.
Anyway.
Yeah, there has to be something. Something has to move with that, right? Like, they have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the biggest match on the women's side they can make is Mercedes and Tony at All In. I mean, if you get there, then and there's a bunch of titles on the line, I think that's a big women's match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do questions.
All right, this is from Marcel.
Okay, what?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just talking about being an island boy again.
No, I just wanted to, before we get into questions, just do a quick promo. If you want more of me and MG,
here we go.
Podcast. I wanted a time to get more questions in, so that's why I figured it'd be a good.
Okay,
time
good.
to do this.
That's fine.
But I don't give a football podcast. If you want more MG mumbling and me rambling, you could go check that out on YouTube.
I like that they do their football podcast when the season's not on. That's when they do it.
Well, no, the new year just started Monday, so that's why we started it when we did.
Football boys. Rich and I don't care about football.
Nah, sorry.
But I definitely go check it out. If you'd like football, go check it out.
Yeah. If you like football, go check out MG and Jonathan's I Don't Give a Football?
I don't give a football.
Exactly.
Yep.
Nice. All right,
awesome.
let's do some
else?
questions. This is from Marcel. Hey, boys, long time, first time.
Hey.
When I was much younger and watching ECW Attitude Era, there was a thriving mid-card serving as a gate to the upper card. Is that something AEW and WWE should put in place? I think that WWE mid-card is pretty strong.
I think both companies have a very strong mid-card, but I think AEW has done a better job at telling you everybody's gunning for the title. You know, like, if you think about their mid-card, they're like mid-upper card. Who's there? I guess, well, you know what? I wouldn't consider MJ. Mid-card right now, it's Adam Cole, right?
Sure.
Bandito.
Yeah.
Roosh, those guys. I mean, that's a mid-card.
Ryan Cage.
You know what? You're right. They haven't done a good job. Like, I think with the TNT title, they should really have that become, like, the real, like, mid-card elevating yourself to go back up.
Yeah.
You know, you could do that. I think WWE has done a way better job with their Intercontinental title and with their US title, especially for the women as well. They've done a good job with it. I don't know. Where do you think this falls? Do you think they could do better with this, or you think they're doing a good job?
I think, like we said a few weeks ago, I think AEW needs to trim the fat on the belts a little bit, because technically Kenny and Okada are mid-card champions, right?
Yeah.
But they're also main eventers. They're wildly amazing main eventers, right? So it's kind of tough because you're not getting definitive lines like you used to, and that's okay to a certain extent. But I also think, like, it's more fun to watch. Like, what a great example was when Cody had that TBS title, and you knew that was a mid card belt, but he was TNT title, and he was wrestling, Brody and Eddie Kingston, and like that I think was like the top for that mid card.
For a mid card, yeah. I agree.
Joel Allison sends in $1.99 saying, "Thank you for your donation."
No, thank you for your donation.
Thank you. Is the system? He just sent in the $1.99.
Okay.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you. Good Doer 627. Are the independent promotions protecting themselves from WWE ID after the Stephanie Vaquer business and Ricky Starks with Defy?
No, not really. I think they welcome this, to be honest, because if you have somebody, if you treat this almost like a territory thing where the WWE ID guy is going from territory to territory, I think they benefit from this. They also want to be able to say that they're part of the WWE ID program. So a lot of the indies are going to be excited for this. But who's an indie? Like, give me like a North American indie other than Defy. Defy's going to be fine. They're very, it's Pacific Northeast. They'll be okay. Yeah. There's a lot of talent coming in.
Technically is.
GCW technically is a big indie.
The Great Khali is a big indie.
Oh, Jesus.
He is. He is.
Can you give yourself like a womp womp button
Yeah.
and press it at least 4 times for that one? There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Just boo him. Just boo him.
Boo this man.
Just boo this man.
Boo this island boy.
Yeah, why are you being an island boy, dude?
Sorry.
You know what you need? You need a grill now. That's what's missing.
Oh, don't. Oh.
I'll get the tinfoil out like back in 06.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like a little tattoo on your face too.
Yeah, you need a little teardrop tattoo. You need like a forehead tattoo.
Yeah.
Did you listen? Did you ever consider like a face tattoo?
I had my lip tattooed, but that's as close as we
Like
got.
inside of your lip?
Yeah, I had New Jersey tattooed in my lip.
Oh my God.
I'll send a picture in the group chat for everyone.
Can we?
Looking forward to that.
Can we do another podcast called Andrew Silently Judges? There's like, all right. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Cadillac Carson, this is a great question. Are comic book fans or superhero fans as crazy and wild as wrestling fans, like with the tribalism? Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of comic creators get a lot of awful stuff sent their way from fans who are bananas about not realizing it's a story and it's fiction, much like wrestling.
Yeah.
You Played Yourself says, I want Mask Collector Jericho.
Ooh,
Sure.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
I like that
Maybe that's
too.
what they're doing. Ooh.
That would be cool. Leonardo Alexi says the Sting Hardys match Rich was referring to earlier was Darby Allin, Sting, and the Hardys versus Private Party, Blade, and
Yes. Yes.
Butcher. Okay. It's all coming back to me now.
Jonathan sent this photo. Okay. And if there was ever a dated photo, this would be it. First of all, he's unrecognizable.
Oh
He's wearing a hat that says swag. And he's pulling his lip down, and he could see his lip tattoo that says New Jersey.
And I was on my way to a Hooters.
And he was on his way to a Hooters wearing a Raiders jacket.
Yeah, it was
Does
the
it
NFL
still
draft.
Does it still say New Jersey? Or
No,
did
it says New Mersey now.
No, so during my intake into the military, during the dental exam, they found it and they made me get it removed. So $500
Wow.
later and it's gone. Yeah, 'cause
That's-
it was
did-
technically considered above the neck, which is breaking military rules.
Unbelievable.
They didn't reimburse you?
Yeah, they didn't
No.
reimburse you, dude?
Paid it out of pocket.
Was it a choice to be like, well, I'm not going to do it? Would they like fire you? Would they,
Yeah.
like bounce you?
No, at that point, it was like, no, you're getting this done.
Wow.
The contract was signed. You're here. You're getting this done. So
Wow.
yeah.
Mark B, if TK has landed Josh Alexander, where would you slot him in if he debuts at Dynasty?
Dude, that's the big problem. I don't know. I don't
TNT
know
title.
where you put him. I mean, great. You know what? He'd be a great guy for that TNT title. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know where you would put him. There's so many matches he could have, but I'm saying, like, as
Mhm.
far as like a really good program goes, like, I don't know where to put that guy.
Yeah. This is from Alex. Hey guys, greetings from Greece. You have the option to send one wrestler to WWE from AEW and one from AEW to WWE. Give me your options. Oh, this is a good one.
I mean, I would send from WWE. I would send Roman Reigns. I mean, if we're doing like a trade of like the best,
Yeah.
Roman Reigns
Roman for Kenny.
for Kenny. Yeah. If we're doing the best, I would do
CM
Roman
Punk
for
back.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Send
What
CM
happened?
Punk back. I don't think anybody wants him.
Yeah,
Can I
that might
trade?
not work.
Can I trade Corey Graves for Taz?
Corey
Sure.
Graves for Taz. Okay.
You
That's
can
who
do
I'm
that.
trading.
That's
Sure. MG, what's your pick?
fine. I don't know. That's a good one. Trying to think. I don't know. Maybe
Okay, he
maybe
can't
we.
Is the
yeah, I
female
can't think.
Viking Raider still around?
No, she's not.
I was gonna trade her for Mercedes. Get Mercedes back in WWE.
Mhm.
I just feel like because I don't watch AEW, so I just feel like AEW is where people go for their career to die.
Is that what you think?
That's what
That's
it
an
feels like
interesting
to me.
perception.
That's
Yeah.
an
But
interesting
you also
perception.
you really also don't really watch wrestling, right?
No, I watch WWE every week.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I just
remember,
can't
that's the
get
generation
into-
he grew up with. He
Yeah,
grew
I
up
just
with
can't
that.
get into AEW. Like it's just
That's
like,
all
it's
he
a
knows.
Far off. Yeah, it's a far off land.
That's all he
so
knows.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's so fascinating.
that's the wrestling, and that is. I was talking about that with Garrett 2 weeks ago, where like, listen, you can't knock someone for that's all they know. Like that's the only wrestling that Jonathan, his age group, had. There was no competition.
No, I had that in TNA during AJ Styles.
Yeah, TNA, and then but that was never even presented in a big time picture, you know,
Right.
especially at that
It was
time.
always on those B channels.
Yeah.
I guess it was on
That's so
Spike for a
fascinating.
while, but
Yeah.
All right, what else do we have?
I would. I don't know who I'd send to AEW, but I would immediately make Hobbs NXT champion.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Millennial Noob, with Natalia competing at the NWA, will this open the door for a possible partnership between WWE and NWA?
I think Billy, our friend Billy, would love that.
Oh yeah,
But you see, things are changing. This is a very different company. You're getting this. I think Natty going to NWA, I think that's a fun. That doesn't hurt anybody, and it actually helps wrestling.
right.
That's a positive.
Huge.
It's a positive for everybody in the locker room. That's a positive for fans. It's a good thing.
I think NWA being part of the WWE ID program is probably the best scenario there.
Yeah.
Well, WWID also put out something on Twitter saying anybody that's signed to the ID contract can also go do any indie show they still want to do, which I thought was interesting.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
That you could do any. I'm curious about that. Let's see how long that lasts, because if they have their eye on someone, they think someone is a total stud, I don't think they're going to let them go anywhere. I think they're going to be a little bit more selective on where the talent goes.
Well, then do you have to call them up earlier? Like, do you put them on Evolve instead of WWE ID?
I don't know. I mean, here's a great thing. What if they have somebody that they're really fond on, and they're thinking about the plans, and this guy wants to do the Juggalo wrestling thing,
Right.
you know? I'm just using them as an example because people know what it is. Is somebody going to say, yeah, no problem? Or are they going to say, like, hey, why don't we be a little selective on these matches? What if it's like a hardcore match with glass and light tubes?
Someone might have to correct me, but I think the tweet said that contact the wrestler individually for booking. So I think they're letting the talent kind of control their calendar.
I guess so. I mean, they should. I don't think they want to take that responsibility of booking indies for all these people, but I'm curious where it is in a year.
Yeah.
All right, let's do 3 more quick.
Hassan asks, is AEW at risk of losing Britt Baker to WWE?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal there is. She has been off TV for a while. You've heard rumors of unhappiness from everybody, so I don't know.
Yeah. Brian Knight, if Jeff Cobb does sign with WWE, which brand should he be on, and who should be his first feud?
Put him on Raw.
Put him on Raw. Do you put him with the Bloodline guys?
He's fantastic. He really is. You know what you do? Bring him in, have him feud with Penta.
There you go. I'd like that. That'd
That's
be
the
fantastic.
Lucha Underground thing. Matanza.
Matanza.
That was him, right? Matanza.
Yeah.
And he was a big Frankenstein, right? That was his thing.
With the
I think so.
mechanic suit.
Yeah, he had a mechanic suit. Yeah, he had a big mechanic suit. Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. We have a super chat from QB. Would you pay $8,000 for a Triple H meet and greet at the WWE Hall of Fame?
That is wild. That is a real thing. That is a real thing. $8,000.
That came out this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what else came out this week?
What?
You can pay $13,000 to be Gene Simmons' roadie for a day.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
You have lunch with him, you move gear, you're on the side of the stage, he introduces you to the audience, you get some kind of free, well, not free, but you get some kind of nonsense to take home with you.
A t-shirt.
$13,000.
Wow. And people are going to pay it.
I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who's going to do it.
And people
There will be
pay
a waiting list for it.
I would not pay $8,000 to meet Triple H, but I'm not a fan of anybody like that. Like, I don't have that kind of fandom for anything.
Right.
So, like, I mean, maybe to someone that their whole life was impacted by this man, and I guess so. I guess some people. I'm curious. I was thinking about that the other day, actually. I'm curious how many people are willing to pay that. Not if there will be someone. I think there will be, but how many people are willing to pay that?
It might be worth it if he spits water at you.
Then you can monetize that for sure. You could monetize that.
I got a question for the Hall of Fame. Do we think it's going to be like more toned down since they're doing it the same night as SmackDown, but in a different venue after SmackDown?
They're doing it at Fontainebleau. I think they're doing a big presentation. I think it's going to be like a big banquet, like they.
But I'm saying
like
the last
used to
couple
do?
of years, they've had it right after SmackDown in the same arena for the same crowd. Now, all those people that want to do SmackDown and the Hall of Fame are going to have to migrate to a different arena. Like all the wrestlers are going to have to migrate. It sounds weird to me.
That's how they used to do it. That's how they used to do it.
Used to be.
Yeah, that it was always in a different environment, but I think that's fine. I think the Fontainebleau is a great fucking venue. I love that hotel.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It's like
awesome
that's like classic Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Let's do two more. This is from David Scott. What match does AEW need to headline All In to get attendance over 20,000? Ospreay versus someone for the title?
Ospreay versus someone for the title. Also, Okada and Kenny. For title unification. You bring the Bucks back for something. You're going to have to do this big. And they're in a big field. 20,000. They need to be over 20.
I already mentioned Mercedes and Tony. That
Mercedes and Tony. You could do that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's do.
It's going to be banging.
Let's do one more.
All right, one more. This is a good one. This is Cadillac Carson. Always with the great questions. Who are three wrestlers you would not want to go on a camping trip with in the middle of nowhere?
There's
the
a
Nasty
fundamental
Boys?
problem with this question.
Braun Strowman and the Nasty Boys.
Braun Strowman and the Nasty Boys. Yep.
That's a good one.
There's a fundamental problem with this question.
What?
Andrew would never go camping.
You think I would? You think for even one fucking second I'm pitching a tent and I'm sleeping in a tent?
Would you go glamping?
Do I have a shower and do I have a bathroom?
Well, Well, listen, like if you go, there's facilities that give you basically luxury accommodations, but
I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be in the woods. I don't want to be in the woods. I don't want to be outside.
That's
What if
glamping.
you had an
Like,
RV
you'd be in the woods.
where you could just
No,
pull
no.
it up somewhere.
No, I don't want to be in an RV glamping.
I got one. I got one person that I would definitely not want to be camping with.
Who's that?
It would be Joe Hendry.
You don't want to go camping with Joe Hendry?
No, because someone will say his name and then he'll disappear, and now I'm alone in the woods.
No. He appears when you say his name.
That's what I'm saying. But if
saying
he's
someone
with me
else will
and
say
someone
his
else
name.
says
Someone-
his name,
yeah.
then I'm now alone.
But you could just say his name again. and
Yeah,
he'll
you
be
can just
back.
keep saying his name.
But then it's just going to be a tug of war. He's going to return to me with 3 eyeballs one time.
All right, boys and girls, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, love all of you. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.